Welcome to the conversation. I am Dakbo Adigboye. This is where we keep you up to speed with the political events across Africa. On the program today, we will be looking at Nigeria, where the Labour Party has expressed worries over how its members are being sacked by the National Assembly Election Petition Tribunal in many states across the country over discrepancies surrounding membership of the party and their mode of nomination. Also on the program, we shall be looking at Zimbabwe, where President Emerson Mnangagwa announced his new cabinet that is expected to consolidate gains made in the past 5 years and accelerate the implementation of programs and projects that will transform the lives of Zimbabweans towards Vision 2030. However, this has been met with critical reaction. Stick around. Let's kick off with Nigeria, where the Labour Party has said it is amazed at the spate of judgments being churned out at the various national and state assembly tribunals, where several of their elected members at the National Assembly have been sacked by the tribunals. A statement by Labour Party Chairman Julius Abure said it was shocking that the Labour Party, which in the last general election took Nigerians by surprise by rewriting the political narratives and ending the dominance of two major political parties in Nigeria, is now becoming the target of judicial attacks. Now, Dr. Yunusa Salisu Tanko Obidati, Presidential Chief Spokesperson, Labour Party, joins me to, of course, shed more light on this, what I call it, recent trend. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much for having me. Good evening.
Good evening. All right, so before we get into specifics, what are your general thoughts, as regards this latest trend concerning the party?
Well, it's quite unfortunate that some of the issues that we took to the tribunal, the Presidential Electoral Tribunal Court, were centered basically on issues that concerns election matters that are substantial at the moment. But it is amazing that some of the judicial position that was taken at that court indicated that there are issues that the learned judges assumed to be pre-election matters, i.e. the issue of double nomination, paper qualification of the presidential candidates as it were. Even up to now, the presidential candidate have not been able to justify his qualification to run for election. But then, interestingly, these are the same matters that is being used to, let me say, deny some of our members or saying that they sack them in their position as legislators in both states and then the federal level, using the same pre-election matters as a case in study. So one wonders, where is the contradiction happening? If you could, as a court, then decide that those are supposed to be pre-election matters, then why are you adjudicating on the same matters? And then now, in the presidential election, you are denying on that particular thing. So there's a heavy form of contradiction in the judgment. And it seems to me it is a targeted attempt on the Labour Party. Possibly the assumed position that one of the judges saying that there was intimidation of the judges, which I count as encouraging the judges to do the right thing. As it were, the judges refuse to do what is rightfully expected of them. And then they are now challenging the Labour Party as saying that probably we doctor, that is the question now, we doctor some of the facts that we brought into the Presidential Electoral Tribunal, i.e., for example, when you present a certified true copy of a document, it is assumed or believed to be the true copy of what is being presented by that particular institution, because we presented certified true copies of 880,000 motivated copies from INEC, which INEC did not deny. But the court in its own judgment think that we actually manipulate those particular documents, which is ironical, and I find it very difficult to believe. So us here, it's like the judges are angry, and that because we say there's an eye on the judiciary, and so therefore now we are now being singled out for adjudication wrongly and denying the right of the people, which they come out en masse to vote for those candidates of our party.
All right. I mean, talking about intimidation of judges, I mean, there are speculations also that during the process, some members, alleged members, I mean, particularly used social media to sort of, as some would describe it, hit up the polity, to the build up to the eventual announcement of the tribunal. And they linked it to the party. I mean, what's your reaction to, statements like that?
I think it's a total presumption of the judges, because there have been instances in this country where individuals who did not even contest for primary election have been pronounced as winners of election. We've seen it on 2 or 3 occasions. At the point in time, the former speaker of the former Senate president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria had a double nomination issue, and he did not even contest in the primary. But today he is sitting at that particular red chamber as a senator, and nobody has said anything about it. So Nigerians are not stupid. They are watching some of the strength of this particular event. So what they decide to do, while they were dragging in pronouncing this judgment on the Presidential Election Tribunal Court, they now decide to put them on notice and say, look, we are encouraging you as Nigerians to do the right thing, because our democracy is in danger. Because if you continue to deny justice, what you are actually opening up the country for is anarchy and dissenting voices, and in a large number. And that is exactly what they did. But not to say that they were intimidating the justice. How can you intimidate? Can you even intimidate the justice? It's not possible. But of course, unfortunately, one of the judges actually came out and said that we are being intimidated, and then you expect the political party expect them to go and shop for proof or evidence for them, which is completely unexpected of a learned judge to make pronouncements on.
Now, part of the issues being raised has to do with membership and mode of nomination discrepancies, which the party leadership has actually, reacted to, and even said that some of those issues are internal party affairs. Now, how do you, number one, react to this, and what core or key issues, are you contesting in everything that was said during all of these tribunals?
Okay, first of all, let me make this clarification. The political party has a right within its constitution to give a waiver to any candidate that comes in within the party.
What do you mean by waiver?
Let's lay this part. It's possible people will come into the party at a late period in time. Of course, when the list of candidates has already been submitted to INEC. But then we have the right to resubmit this particular list of candidates to INEC, and at the same time issue a waiver to our candidates who have joined the political party. There is nothing wrong with that.
Okay, I'm sorry, for the benefit of viewers at home, can you explain what that waiver constitutes?
The waiver constitutes that you can contest election within a certain period of time when the leadership of the party has the right to waive whether you have been a member for a certain period of time or not. That particular situation is very, very possible within our own party. And so therefore, as regard to the issue that we lay down to the electoral tribunal, one, I find it so difficult to understand why the learned judges will not deal with the issue of qualification, which is a constitutional provision, that before you run for an election, you must present the documents that qualify you to run for election. The court, in its infinite mercy, feel that that is not necessary. And that means a criminal can come in and run for election and win election. Two, we said that the processes of the election, which is enshrined by the Constitution and the Electoral Act, which the INEC themselves came in and pronounced to the public that it is not an option, that you must pronounce results at the polling unit, which is a statutory right. The court said no, that it is the right of the political party or INEC itself to decide where and how to pronounce results, which is contradictory to the position of the Constitution. So what it means is that our learned judges have taken and kept the Constitution in abeyance. And then thirdly, we come in with the issue of 25% in the Federal Capital Territory, which pronounced Abuja as a statutory of the state where the candidate of the party, of any party, must win. And that, of course, was our position. And Section 299 of the Constitution pronounced this Abuja as a must-win state, as it were, to mean 25%. But all of this these three very important positions, the court did not find any interest in any one of them. And then they counted as if that we were wasting their time. Let me quote it, wasting their time. When there were ethnic profiling, every person in this country saw how they were ethnic profiling, and then certain people were denied the right to vote, especially the Nigerian youth. And yet, the courts feel that those particular positions or the evidences that were provided is not enough for them to quash this particular election. It's actually unbelievable and absurd.
All right, thank you so much for your time. Dr. Yunusa Salisu Tanko, Obidati Presidential Chief Spokesperson. Once again, thank you so much for your time. Labour Party.
Thank you very much, and God bless Nigeria.